So let's go and get into it, though. I'm going to be talking about the Detroit Pistons.
No!
Whoa. Before you click up the video, I'm not talking about current day Detroit Pistons. Not yet. I want to see a couple more games, though. I do want to talk about the current day Pistons, but today's video is going to be talking about the 2000s Pistons. Now, the 2000s Pistons were very underrated during that time. They went to 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals, had 3 different coaches around this time, and they had success with each one of them. So we're going to dive into each coach and how their coaching style, and basically like who was the most successful. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so the first coach I'm going to talk about, and it's crazy. He was one of the most inexperienced ones of all these 3, and it's crazy to think about because he's one of the most successful coaches in today's game, and that is Rick Carlisle. Now, Rick Carlisle, we all know him as his time with the Celtics as a player. Then he became assistant coach with the Nets, Blazers, and the Pacers. Then he landed on his feet with the Pistons. And the goal was to try to rebuild this thing and try to be a playoff contender again. So his first season, he started at 32-50. Okay, is what it is. The next 2 seasons, he ended the season 50-32. Those were successful seasons, but in that last season, it was very roller coaster. And his coaching style was very hands on. And the Pistons front office felt like they needed like a stronger voice in the locker room because they was just letting Jerry Stackhouse cook, and that was not getting it done for the Pistons at all because they wanted somebody to play more a team friendly offense because letting Jerry Stackhouse jack up a bunch of shots and getting his points wasn't conducive to winning. So they feel like they wanted a stronger voice. So we're going to talk about the next coach that got the job. So yeah, this next coach I'm about to talk about, and we all know who he is, and that is Larry Brown. Now Larry Brown, we all know where he's been around this league, but we're going to talk about his previous stop, and that was with the 76ers. Now, the 76ers, yes, they did make it to the finals, but it was like a lot of clash and personalities going on. Larry Brown trying to trade Iverson without Iverson doing his own thing on his own time. Larry Brown didn't appreciate it because he wasn't focused on basketball. Larry Brown also didn't like how Iverson was dominating the ball. All types of crazy stuff that just got Larry Brown exhausted, so he felt like he needed a change of scenery, and boom, here come the Pistons. And now what's crazy about this is Pistons went to the Eastern Conference Finals with Rick Carlisle, but like I just said previously, they felt like he wasn't going to be the man to lead them to a championship. So even though Rick Carlisle was a defensive-oriented coach, they wanted somebody with more experience on that end, and they feel like Larry Brown was the man for the job. And Larry Brown, he definitely was the man for the job because they was the second, third best defensive team during that time. Then after the Rasheed Wallace trade that happened, they became the best defensive team in the league. Then the playoffs, they dominated. Then they came to the Pacers, and guess who was on the other side? Rick Carlisle. And you know Rick Carlisle really wanted to beat the Pistons, especially since they just kicked him to the curb just a couple months prior. So he definitely wanted revenge. And the Pistons were very close to winning that series. I mean, not the Pistons. The Pacers was very close to winning that series until Ron Artest went rogue. So yeah, that just caused them to lose. And both of these teams, and it's well documented, they feel like they could easily beat the Lakers. Because the Lakers was like, they had their own personal problems going on. But these 2 teams, they feel like they were very team-oriented and very defensive-minded to get the job done. Too bad it wasn't the Pacers that got the job done. It was the Pistons and Larry Brown. And then Larry Brown, He came into the finals with Chauncey Billups, Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. They had key role players. I can't think of them right now. I think it was Carlos Williamson. Did they have Hunter around this time? I don't think they had Hunter. I could be wrong. But yeah, they have key role players around this time. Darko Milicic was on the roster as well. And yeah, it was a murder. It was a murder. They took the Lakers out their offense. They forced Kobe Bryant to go more one-on-one. They took Shaq out the offense by trying, slightly double team. Since they didn't outright double team folks, because Larry Brown felt like he wanted a man-to-man defense. Everybody holds their own water. He didn't mind the hedging, but if you try outright double team, he has a problem with that. So, yeah, they demolished the Lakers in 5. So we go into the next year. They basically brought back the same team. They made it to the finals again. They messed up with the Spurs, but this time they lost. But they was like hounding Tim Duncan that entire series, because Tim Duncan in that series did not have the best efficient series at all. If anything, folks are saying Manu Ginobili deserved that Finals MVP, because Manu Ginobili got them at so many gems, and it was like mind-boggling to folks at the time that he didn't win. So yeah, and then after that, Larry Brown was let go of the team. Now, the reason why Larry Brown was let go of this team, because first off, Larry Brown, he was the type of coach that he just leave no matter what. He didn't care. He was talking to other coaches during this time, by the way, and the Pistons didn't appreciate that, so they just moved on. And then they also said that his offense was very stagnant. It didn't have no creativity at all. So they needed something fresh, something new. So this is what's going to lead me to the next coach. So the next coach I'm going to talk about, Flip Saunders. Now, Flip Saunders, he was an experienced coach. Now, with his tenure with the Minnesota Timberwolves was very impressive, since he made it to the Western Conference Finals with Kevin Garnett leading the way. Then Sam Cassell was dealing with injuries. Latrell Sprewell, he was showing up, but he wasn't that team was not ready to compete, and that team was very talent deprived. And that was because the GM and ownership really wasn't taking care of the players and trying to, bring folks back. I didn't get that at all. That's why this team was always behind the 8 ball. So, after that Western Conference Finals trip, they didn't do nothing in 05. So, it was best both Flip and the front office just need a fresh start. So, this is going to lead me to the next start with the Detroit Pistons. Now, Flip Saunders, he was kind of like Rick Carlisle, hands off. He tried to talk to you one-on-one. He wasn't trying to impose his ego on folks like Larry Brown was. And Flip Saunders' offensive scheme, it was what they needed. Something more diverse, something that was going to bring out the best out of them. And what's crazy, during this time, this was their best record in franchise history. 64-18. That was an impressive record, and nobody really expected that. And they still was a good defensive team, since they still had their core players. 06, they made it to Eastern Conference Finals, but they lost to the Heat. Now, you about to see a common theme during this time. Be it Dwayne Wade and Shaq was having their way out there, and since Flip Saunders didn't have a man-to-man scheme, even though he played man a lot, he was like a matchup zone type guy. He would double. He would not let players just go off like Larry Brown did. He would try a matchup zone. He'd try to get you out their rhythm, but folks are still going crazy. Dwayne Wade had crazy series. Shaq had crazy series. So we're going to the next year in 07. LeBron James. Whew, wow, that LeBron James is like absolutely destroyed them, and the reason why they absolutely destroyed them because the front office decided to let Ben Wallace go to Chicago. So that was a mistake right there, and I think they like brought in Antonio McDyess around this time too, which was like, however you feel about it, that's how I feel about it, in my opinion. Um, yeah, but LeBron James just having his way in the paint. At a certain point in the series, because at the beginning he wasn't having his way at will, but once he found out how to attack they matchup zones, he was going crazy, and the Pistons didn't have nothing, like no answer for him at all. So yeah, we're going to the next year, which is no, another conference finals trip. The offense is starting to become more predictable, which is starting to become a problem. Now, this time around, they have to face the big three Celtics, KG, Pierce, and Ray Allen. First year together, and they just let KG just get his game off. Like, if you going to try to beat this team, especially around this time, because the Celtics, they was on a buzzsaw run to try to win the championship. But the fact that they just let KG was just able to get his game off at will and they didn't have no answer for him, yeah, they wasn't winning that series. They wasn't winning that series. So yeah, and we're gonna talk about how I feel about each coach and who was the most successful one. All right, so the most successful coach was Larry Brown because Larry Brown, he went to two finals and one finals. There's nothing else need to be said about that. But in my opinion, the best coach of all of these three, Larry Brown, Flip Saunders, and Rick Carlisle, I believe is Flip Saunders. Now the reason why I say Flip Saunders because his scheme was very like more up to date. His offensive scheme was more up to date. It wasn't as simplistic. Chauncey Billups had career high season and assists during this time, and yeah, it just felt more smoother. But it did. The offense did stagnate in playoff games though, as the talent started to get older and as talent started to leave. And then the defense was still as good as they were with Larry Brown on the team. So yeah, I ain't seen like nothing to like deter my opinion on this because Flip Saunders was like the better communicator, had better schemes. Now his defensive schemes was different, but it was still effective. It's still until playoff time when Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Pierce, KG, and those boys start to show up. But yeah, that's all I have to say for that because these three coaches all were successful at the end of the day. They all went to Eastern Conference Finals. It's not easy to even get a deep playoff run, as you can tell now, because the Pistons haven't made it to Eastern Conference Finals since then. So everybody should be grateful about a deep playoff run. I don't care what franchise you are. Anything can happen. Anything can turn at any moment. See, if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and this is your boy Trail, and I'm out.